First, would you like to be a TEDx speaker or organizer in 2021? Pay attention to what you stand to gain. It's time you stopped playing the local game. It's time you go global. Start leveraging on international platforms. When you speak on international platforms, especially the TEDx stage, you become the go-to expert with more leads, more sales, more credibility, more exposure, more influence, and of course, more money. But it's not just about money and fame. TEDx is about being on stage, connecting with people in a real way, sharing new ideas, and making the world a better place. TEDx gives your brand more exposure and more visibility, and you can get seen, get paid, and get heard. Introducing OpenX, the organizer TEDx Benjavel or Mababirin Adeola Oshideko, an international speaker with over 5 years experience in public speaking, is ready to hold you by the hand and take you through the journey. In this program, you will learn how to become a TEDx speaker, how to apply and become a TEDx organizer, how to get more international speaking invitations, how to organize international events and source for speakers and sponsorships. Webinar fee costs only 9,999 naira. See the testimonials from cohort 1 and hurry now to register as registration is open for cohort 2 at bit.ly/openx webinar. Registration closes April 30th, 2021. Please note that you can take the webinar at your convenient time.
All right, you're all welcome back to this last session, and I am going to be bringing in our moderator now, who is going to usher in our speaker for today. Hi, Hadeshola, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
So I'm delighted you're part of these. I'm delighted you're going to be ushering our last speaker in. And if you're watching us right now, this is not a time for you to go and watch. What do you used to watch on Z? Is it Z World or whatever? Yes, this is the time for you to pay attention. This is the time for you to concentrate, because our speaker tonight is coming with lots of value. She, just like I told you before she even came, she's one of the big, or let me say the top influencers on LinkedIn. She has been doing what she does presently for years, and she is a professional. She knows her onions, like we used to say. Okay, so over to you, Adeshola, to bring our guest in. I'm going to be leaving the stage now.
All right, thank you so much, Minter. While we wait for our speaker to join us, I'm going to read a profile for every one of us, to our hearing. Madam Dupa Atkinson, you're highly welcome, ma'am. It's nice to have you here tonight.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for the privilege. It's such an honor to be here with you.
I'm excited to be here.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for honoring our invitation. And before you start, I would like to read out your profile so the people can get to know you. Okay, Madam Dupe Akeseu, you're seen on the screen. We'll be speaking on the topic, how to manage workplace and boardroom politics. And Madam Dupe is a highly experienced, innovative, and intuitive leadership, learning and talent development management professional with a proven track record of success working within high people multinational organizations. She possesses the ability to develop strategies and policies to enhance process, performance, and talent in line with the vision of the organization, leading to consistently improved business performances. And Madam Dupe have been consistently and repeatedly recognized with special recognition and outstanding contribution awards. Lastly, she is a strong, proactive leader. Wow, this is amazing, ma'am. You have done so well. She provides, She provides coaching, training, and mentoring to build multi-skilled and cross-functional teams, both face-to-face and remotely, working together to achieve individual and companies targets. She is acknowledged for undertaking performance appraisals to identify talent and rectify training requirements to enable staff to track their full potential. A collaborative and innovative senior management professional, she has effective and adaptable communication and relationship skills with the ability to integrate and maintain internal and external stakeholder buy-in. That is Madam Dufe's profile I just read now. And thank you very much, ma'am. I wonder how you have been able to achieve all of this. Ma'am, your profile is, and I just said to myself, oh my God, when will I get here? But I trust I can always get there because
Absolutely.
I'm sure you started someday.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, ma'am. But just before we start, can I simply ask how it's out of your topic? I'm sorry. How have you been able to manage all of this and then balance with life generally?
So wow, that's a whole new topic on its own. But thank you so much, Adeshola, and I quickly want to recognize the organizers of this event. Of course, Omobabiri herself, well done for the great work you're doing. I also want to acknowledge every speaker that has, gone ahead to give us the total positive and engaging experience we've had so far on this Global Brand Summit. I really, really am honored, to be here this evening. So thank you so much. And to your question, right, Adeshola, I would start by saying one of the things that can help anybody get to the top of whatever it is they've chosen to do is a sense of purpose. You need to know why you're doing what you're doing. Because the truth is the journey is never going to be easy. I'm not going to tell you that, it wasn't until you were reading, I'm like, oh my goodness, we could have maybe summarized this a little bit more, but, living every day, one day at a time. And then you look back, you're like, oh my God, this number of years have gone by and I've been able to do X, Y, Z. But it's the little decisions you make every day, like prioritizing your time, understanding what what matters, for you per time. All these things help you to keep the big picture in view, and then you're able to pursue your goals. So I would say that a strong sense of purpose, knowing that I'm not in this world by accident. I'm here to serve a generation, just like you are in this world, to serve a generation. And to serve your generation, you're not going to only rely on your talent. You're going to have to nurture that talent. Nobody sells gold in its raw state. It goes through a refining process, right? Because in its raw state, it has no value. Talent has no value until it has been developed. Talent has no value until it has gone through a refining process. So a lot of times, yes, are talented, but are they disciplined enough to go through their refining? And when you see the conversion of raw gold into refined gold, into valuable gold, into usable gold, it goes through a fire. All right, the refining process is a fairy one. Now, your growth journey is not a comfortable experience. There are times you have to make sacrifices in time. There are times you have to make financial sacrifices. There are many things you're going to have to do. I recently did a post on LinkedIn about how, many years ago, I needed to take a bet on my life. I needed to, invest or make an investment in a personal development course that I was to do at the time. And it was the highest ever. I was going to do 10 times of the highest bill had ever paid for my personal development. And it took a lot from me, but then you know what? I look back today, it was worth every dime. The question is, are you willing and ready to take a bet on yourself? When you know what your life is about, when you know that the journey, this is where I'm going, you're going to have to sacrifice. There was a time I sacrificed my relationships. There was a time I realized that my friends were too distracted for the journey ahead. I cut off. I cut off to manage my own self. I cut off because I needed to be strong for myself, for where I was going, in order to be able to get to where, I needed to get to. You cannot carry, you need to travel. You cannot carry baggage of relationships, of wrong mindset, of unwillingness to make sacrifices, or, indiscipline, and many other things, and expect to get to your destination. So, of course, there was also the bit of accountability. I needed to follow people who had gone ahead of me, mentors who could help me, who I could run to, who could guide me, so all of these things. So I'm not a product of myself. I'm a product of a good community. I'm a product of, daily learning, character, and discipline. All right. I'm not perfect. So I'm not even going to tell you that I'm perfect. And that is why I stay accountable. Okay, I'm not going to tell you I'm perfect. No, there are times, sometimes you just want to be like, oh my God, let me throw in the towel, but then you stretch yourself, so yeah. So
amazing, ma'am. It's really amazing, because sometimes I just wonder how when I see influencers, I just ask myself, how have they been able to do all of this? But I guess you have just nailed it. Accountability, discipline, staying focused, knowing your purpose. Yes, especially purpose. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I learned something greatly. So thank you very much, ma'am.
Awesome.
So now to your topic. I'm very sure the people are waiting patiently to hear from you. So over to you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, so to the topic of the day. Hello, everybody, and I want you to tell me in the comment box, in the chat box, if you've been having a great time. I want you to drop yes. It's been a great time. How has this conference been for you so far? All right. There's a particular statement, that says that the end of a thing is better than the beginning. But then I know with this, the quality of speakers we have today, I can imagine, what the beginning has been like. So I want you to drop chats in the comment box and let me see how it has been for you. All right. I see Joy Felix saying yes. And then Comfort is saying it's been a great time. Amazing. And you know what, guys, for you over there, for the audience, I want you to please put your hand together for yourself. From starting, yesterday and today, being a part of this process, it's not an easy one. You've taken time to invest in yourself. So I'm celebrating you and I'm cheering you on, knowing that someday, you are going to be organizers of conferences like this, right? So thank you so much. And I'm trusting that you're going to get, just even if it's just one thing from the session we're going to be having together, okay? As you can see on the screen right in front of you, I'm talking about how to manage boardroom and workplace politics. Managing boardroom and workplace politics. I can tell you that the topic I've been given is quite difficult. It's quite difficult. Now, and I say difficult, not because, of course, it's still complex, but because it's a topic a lot of people sometimes avoid. It's something people don't want to talk about, and that's going to help me set the introduction of, for my talk. I know we only have a few time left, but I'm trusting that I'm going to get right into the crux of the conversation. So when we talk about workplace politics, a lot of people don't like to get involved with politics. I guess it's because of the experience people have, from the mainstream politics that we know, which is politics of the government. Now, when I say government, I'm not necessarily talking about a particular country's government. I'm talking about the fact that, generally speaking, politics is that don't want to dabble into, right? People feel is a kill me, I kill you kind of game. Politics is a do or die affair. Politics, people have different mindsets about politics. And so because of the experiences people have had from the mainstream politics, when it comes to discussing office politics, people say things like, no, I don't like office politics. I don't play office politics. Politics is bad and all of that. But then that mindset of politics is bad, I don't want to play in politics, has kept a lot of people away and further from the action in their organizations. And when you're far from the actions, you will be very far from the impact of being a part of what is going on in the organization. Now, am I saying that you should play in politics? Now, the truth is, whether you like it or not, you are a part of politics, because politics deals with, so when you look at it from an electoral perspective, like the mainstream politics that you see in the governments around all over the world, you see that politics is usually a dynamics of governance between the government and the governed. All right, so politics is, you're involved, so you can choose to be passive, you can choose to be active. So you can't say that, whether you belong to a political party in the country of your residence is not a question that we will ask you. You may not belong to a political party, but guess what? The impact of your choice to be either active or passive is directly touching on you. So in your organization as well, if you say, you know what, I'm not going to play politics, it's not something I'm cut out for, politics is not my thing, it's dirty, I don't want to get involved into it, fine. But you need to know that whether you be a part of it or not, it touches on you. It impacts on your outcome. So the question is, the thing is, rather than run away from office politics, we need to understand what politics is about. Let's demystify it. When we talk about workplace politics, what do we mean? It's not like Democratic versus Republican as it is in the US. It's not conservative versus, whatever, like we have in the UK, or APC versus PDP you have in Nigeria, and many of those primary or leading political parties in major countries of the world, right? That's not what it is primarily. All right, what is politics? So I'm going to be referring to my notes, and I'm going to be discussing with us what politics is really about. So politics is a Greek word, the word politics comes from a Greek word called politika. Politika is a Greek word meaning the affairs of the cities, all right? So when you bring politics into the workplace and you're talking about workplace politics, you're actually talking about, the affairs of the organization. So the affairs of the organization is what really talks about the politics of the organization, the dynamics, what plays out, how are things moving in this organization, whether it's the people, the resources, and all of that, everything adds to policy. So if we're talking about, workplace politics or boardroom politics, we're talking about the affairs of the boardroom or affairs of the workplace. So the question is, do you want to be involved in the affairs in your workplace? Now, you will see that a lot of people who choose or who stay on the bystanders and, who are the bystanders, or who are who are on the sidelines and are not in the center of things that are happening in the organizations, they miss out on a lot. Why? Because they are playing safe. And so in playing safe, they are not even getting the best of the organization. So the question is, would you rather, play safe and miss out, or understand what politics is about so that you can get the best out of the organization? Now, when we talk about politics, it is associated with decision making. It is associated with different forms of power relationships between individuals, right? And also, it also touches on the distribution of resources or status. So when we talk about politics, we're actually talking about people individuals coming together, whether it's in government or in the workplace, deciding on resource allocation. How do we spend the money of this business? Where should our money be going into? Where should our efforts be going into? Where should we be, investing? What should we prioritize, right? It's a function of status, all right? Who are the people that matter? Who are the people that have the most influence, all right? But when we touch on that, Talk about board. Not every organization has a boardroom, all right? And a boardroom can be a room where you can say the board of directors meet, but not every organization is a publicly listed company, all right? Because when you talk about boardroom or board of directors, you're talking about organizations that are publicly listed and they have a group of executive directors and non-executive directors, and with a chairman presiding over the board. Okay, so that's what makes a board. But stepping out of that strict definition of what a boardroom is, a boardroom represents the highest decision-making body of an organization. So whether it is a management team or whether it is a board of directors, all right, it is the boardroom. So let's leave it at that. But beyond the boardroom, all right, I mean, what happens at the boardroom is a direct reflection of what is happening in the main organization. Because the people who sit at the board or at the management desk, they are the people driving the different activities in their respective functions or departments and across the organization. So when we talk about how to manage office dynamics, we're saying, how do you get involved with the affairs of your organization in a way that impacts on the distribution of resources? How do you get involved? How do you get to become a part of the people that are making decisions, right? Now you see why a lot of times when you don't get involved, decisions are taken. Imagine that you don't attend a meeting, and then the people that attend meetings come out of the meetings and then they tell you, these are the things we discussed and decided that we're going to do at the meeting, and this is what you are going to do. So whether you are in the room or outside the room, they will give you work. So why don't you rather be in the room? Why don't you rather be in the center of action and see whether what has been assigned to you is what you would like to be a part of? I don't know if you get what I mean. So these are some of the benefits of getting involved in what is going on. Now, to first of all also help us with our mindset about, office politics is dirty, and people play dirty. Now, it's like saying money is bad. And so because people use money to do bad things, you don't want to have money. That would not be a very wise decision. You will agree with me, right? Because someone, chooses to use an asset or a tool in a way that is negative does not make that asset or that concept in itself negative. There are people who will play politics badly, and it's on them. It's a reflection of their character. But there are people who will be involved in politics and then be positive influence within the organization. So when we talk about the boardroom or the workplace politics, there are 5 P's that I would like to quickly touch on that you need to know. I see Ijeoma has asked the question, how do you get involved in decision making? You need to start taking decision on your job right now. If the decisions, you need to start making right and quality decisions. If your decision making on your personality, and to that, how you choose your time, how you manage your time, how you deal with your colleagues, how you manage your line manager. If all those things are a direct reflection of the quality of decisions that you make. If you're not seen as someone who makes good quality decision, they will never invite you to the table. But let me quickly talk about my 5 P's and then we can take all the questions. So there are 5 things we need to understand. The first thing you need to know is that the boardroom comprises of human beings. It's P for people. When you talk about the boardroom, when you talk about the workplace, I mean, if I ask some of us, we're all at work, maybe a lot of us are at home on this Saturday, and I say, and someone wants to do a business with your organization, they're not going to go on a weekend if you don't operate. Why? Because the human beings are the ones that make up the organization. So the first thing you need to understand is, an organization, a boardroom, a management team comprises of people. Now, what role? There cannot be politics without people. And so people are crucial elements of politics, in the workplace. Now, you need to understand that these people have different interests or multiple interests. These people have different backgrounds. For instance, someone in an IT who is a chief information officer or a chief technology officer of an organization who sits at the management seat or as a board of director. Then you have the chief financial officer. Now, the chief financial officer has a responsibility of managing the finances of the company. All right. He wants the company to declare profit. He wants the company to, manage costs and have more savings, maybe manage the cash flow, and he has certain KPIs. Now, for the chief technology officer, he's looking at driving the operations of the business using technology to make processes a bit more efficient and all of that, Now, to drive technology, it requires money. Technology requires money. Okay. And so because technology requires money, all right, he needs to collaborate with finance. Now, finance, on the other hand, needs to manage money because he wants to declare profit. You can see that now the CFO has an interest to save money. The chief technology officer has an interest to improve efficiency, but at a cost. Now, somebody doesn't want to spend, the other wants to spend, right? Now, how do you manage this interest? These are the dynamics. So how do you ensure that at the end of the day, we get the technology we want, and then we are still able to declare profit? So these are the dynamics. How do we get into that place where the interest of this party and the interest of that other party are fully satisfied in the interest of the organization? These are things that play out. So understand that people have interests. So you don't just go there blindly, thinking that your interest is my interest, thinking that your boss's interest or the other person's interest is your interest. No, you need to understand that everybody is looking to get something. Everybody is looking to meet their KPI. Everyone is looking to achieve a purpose. So because of that, you need to learn how to manage the interest. In fact, the first thing you need to do is to know the interests of your stakeholders. Know the interests. Know the people. This person is on management team. What is his agenda? This other person is on management team. What is her agenda? How do I ensure that we can get the best of both without losing out on the relationship? That is what politics is about. Politics is not that you are bringing the chief financial officer and telling him that, do you know that the CTO is talking to the CEO, and so they want to override your decision, and then you are causing cantankerous arguments and all of that in the world. That is not politics. It is about you learning about your stakeholders. What are the needs of my stakeholders? I see that a lot of people struggle in the workplace because they lack effective stakeholder identification and stakeholder management. Some of us, and let me quickly mention, some of us think the people that carry the chief titles in our organizations are the only most important person. Sometimes the secretary of your boss is more powerful than your line manager. So identifying your stakeholders properly will help you. But you won't have a problem with stakeholder management if you are good at effectively managing relationships. Do you see what I mean? If you're not managing people because of what you want to get from them, you won't have a lot of problem. But you will see that a lot of people, they only relate with people based on what they want to get from people. That is when people have problem. But when your motives are right, when your objectives are right, when your desire is to advance the interests of the organization and no selfish motive, you will get along well with people. And it doesn't matter who it is, whether it's a secretary or a PA or a chief financial officer or a CTO, it would not really matter. All right? Because you are seeking an interest, and you will not insist on your own interest, because nothing makes your interest more superior than the other person. From the analogy I gave about the chief technology officer and the chief financial officer, you will see that both parties actually have valid reasons. I mean, who doesn't want to declare profit at the end of the day? And must we declare profits and save money while we kill our employees with mundane processes? It's been able to find that balance. It's been able to say, okay, you know what is priority at this time? Is how do we make profit? Because at the end of the day, whatever decision we make, yes, you impact on the bottom line in a reasonable way, while also keeping the motivation and the morale of our colleagues or employees in the workplace sustained. Okay, so it's trying to find that balance. Okay, now the other thing you need to be aware of is, okay, I'll move to the next one. After people, the next is power play. When it comes to politics, it's a display of power. Now you will see that the CTO has the power to decide on the best technology. The CFO, on the other hand, has the power to release or not to release money. Now, the chief HR officer can also come and tell you that, people are complaining about salary increase. And so he or she can pitch her tent or his tent behind the CFO that we don't need to spend that money. But if the chief HR officer understands that, people can make money, but then not at the expense of their lives, you will realize that you need to find a way to bring the two together. But that's not even where I'm going. Power, when we talk about power, we're talking about influence. We're talking about influence. It is not every time that an individual in a team will always have the power. So do not play don't play politics of camps. This person, I'm loyal to this person. These other people, they are not our people. You will lose out. You know why? Because we may want to buy technology today. Tomorrow, it may be that we want to increase salary tomorrow. Now, if you are saying that the CTO is my person, so I have to fight for him. Right. If you fight for the CTO and you are against the CFO or against, a day is going to come where the decision will not involve the CTO, and you need to get favor. You need to get on a good side of the CFO. So never take the dynamics of the workplace personal. Always be clear on the objective you're trying to achieve, or the objective the organization is trying to achieve. All right, don't play sides. Understand that, So let me give you an example. If we're having a project where we have to buy a new technology, one of the key decision makers, of course, will be the chief technology officer, the chief financial officer. The chief HR officer may have little or no say, may just be able to give an advice, but cannot influence the outcome. I don't know if you get what I mean. But you need to understand that when it comes to salary review, the chief technology officer, when it comes to salary increase and maybe, organizational restructuring as a project, the chief technology officer will not be powerful in making that decision. The decision is solely between chief HR officer and maybe the finance officer and the CEO. So at that time, you realize that depending on the project per time, people's level of influence and interest can go up and down. So you should never say that I'm for this person and I'm against this person, because you are not there to build camps. Politics is not about building camps. It's about, workplace, politics is not about building camps. It's about stakeholder management, stakeholder identification. Always be clear on this project that I'm working on. Who is that person that has the highest influence? And who are the people that have interest in this project? Because sometimes some people will have interest, high interest, but they have no power to influence the decision. Some people, they have high interest and high influence. So because they have high interest and high influence, how you will manage them, it will be different. For those people who have high interest but low influence, just manage them small. You know why? Because they don't have power to make anything happen. So just inform them, carry them along. But you know that the biggest people you need to pay attention are the people who have the highest influence and the highest interest on that project. When you move on to on the next project, identify who are my highest stakeholders when it comes to influence and interest. So it is being conscious of these dynamics that play out that helps you navigate the dilemma of workplace politics. Another P that is present in the boardroom is perception. Perception. People have impressions of you. If you're going to quote and unquote play politics, get involved in office politics, know that people are assessing you. You come for a presentation to management team. The people listening to you have a perception of your person. They have a perception of your competence. They have a perception of your character. All right? They have a perception of how you carry yourself. So you need to ask yourself, what is my perception index like? What do people think about my work? And this is where feedback will help you. Get feedback from your line manager, get feedback from your stakeholders. How am I adding value to you? What can I do differently? And when they give you feedback, act on the feedback. Do not defend your feedback. Sometimes we get feedback that are good and we're happy. When we get the feedback that isn't good, we then get angry and then we're defending it. No, when your stakeholder gives you a feedback, remember, it's your stakeholder. When they give you a feedback, you'll be like, oh my God, thank you. I mean, if you had never mentioned this, I wouldn't have been aware of it, but I will pay more attention to it. And please, hold me accountable to this. You don't say, no, that's not me. Me, it's not possible. I could not, I did. No. When you start doing those kind of things, you begin to rub off wrongly on people. So you need to be aware of your courage, your competence, your character. All of these things add to perception, because when you come to the table and you will be received based on how people perceive you. You know how we say first impression last longer, but you sometimes don't have the chance to make a second good impression. So always ensure that of course, I mean, that's just the rule, but it doesn't mean that's how it always is. Okay, so sometimes you may have an opportunity to correct an impression, and you need to do it over a period of time to gain their trust again and be able to build credibility. Another P we need to be aware of is, okay, I mentioned it, it's your performance. All right, you need to be competent at what you do. You can't play politics. You can't be involved in politics and be a poor performer. You want to murder yourself. You want to murder your career. You need to be good on your job. You need to be that kind of employee that when you speak, people are like, wow, this person has content. He knows what he's saying. She knows what she's saying. So you build capacity. You need to build your competencies. You need to project a positive behavior, character. People need to know that you're positive minded. You're not the kind of employee who feels daunted with big and complex projects. You need to demonstrate cognitive ability. When we talk about cognitive ability, we're talking about your level of intelligence. You need to be able to contribute to conversations that are happening, top level conversations. It's not every time you just say, boss, I just say I should greet you. How is family? How are you? How are your children? I just say I should say hello. No, you need to know what is going on in the market. You need to understand what is going on in the industry where your company is playing. You need to know what competition is doing and strike good and intelligent conversations. You need to know what the value chain, people that are performing within the value chain of your business, and see how to collaborate, how you can have organizational collaboration. These are things you need to do, because when you're not there, it is these little things that speak for you at the table. Do you know that the people you associate with can either add to you or take from you in terms of your brand perception? If you work in the company of people that have been marked in an organization, you have been co-marked. Do you see what I mean? So you need to be aware. What do people think about these people? And you also need, what do people think about me in terms of, not just the feedback that I mentioned earlier. You also need to be, work very closely with your line manager. Be seen to be someone who is contributing to the bottom line. You don't just say, I've done my work. You don't just say, yeah, I'm done. Is your team done? Have we achieved our team objectives? Or is it just your objectives you have achieved and you're done? Has your line manager achieved his objective? These are things you need to show concern about. And those are the things that stand you out at the table. Another P, I want to talk about, which is the last one. I think I've talked about people, I've talked about power, I've talked about perception, and I've talked about performance. The last P I want to talk about is your presence. You need to look like the boardroom. You need to look like the boardroom. You need to look like someone people want to be associated with. You cannot not be attractive. When I say attractive, I'm talking about your courage, your composure, your level of confidence, You're not slouchy. You know, you're not slouchy. You're not, you know, you have decorum. You're not lousy. You know, I'm not saying you don't have, of course, we have exciting moments in the office, everyone is excited and all that, but you know how to present yourself, you know how to project yourself. All of these things contribute to how people receive you, receive what you've got to offer. And you need to be mindful of all those things. So these are some of the things you need to pay attention to, play effectively. The first thing, like I mentioned earlier, is be careful of the mindset. Don't say politics is a dirty game. It's not a dirty game. We're not saying pull down one person so that you can move to the next level. No, it's about a demonstration of understanding of value, understanding of who your stakeholders are, the kind of, power they have per time, and the level of influence and interest they have on projects per time, being able to manage, diverse stakeholders based on their needs and being able to add value to them. At the end of the day, value is what matters. All right. Value is what matters. So I hope I've been able to contribute to this conversation. Okay, so can we bring the questions down?
Amazing. Please quickly remind me, you talk about people, power, perception, performance,
and presence.
And presence.
You need to
this is amazing. This is really, really amazing, and I've learned a lot personally. And when you talk about the presence, I tell people, I granted a television interview recently in Nigeria. I came to Nigeria to do some things, so I quickly used the opportunity to do that. So while I was talking on the television set, it was a recorded session. So I mentioned the fact that you should have a relationship with probably your boss. You should know who your director is, because where I am, the reporting line is quite long. It's an international organization. You have the chief, you have the supervisor, you have the manager, before you now get to the director, then the vice president, then the president. So it's quite long. So the director is like 3 steps away from the president, and ordinarily the director is like a mini god. But the way we work, we have a relationship with our director. Whenever I go to our office to do stuff, we talk about what I actually take to her. Oh, she will say something like, "Oh, Adela, did you see this?" So I will, because it's something I'm working on, I will say, "Yes, I saw it. I think this and this and this." So, we will have a brief conversation. And when I mention it, that people should have like a relation, I can see the face of the interviewer, like, like, why should you do that? Why will you be talking with your director like that? Like having a conversation with your director, and so I'm like, you are still not aware that this is 21st century and so many things are changing. You've given your director something to sign, and she's talking about it. Can't you see that the percentage is going up and down, this, that? And you're like, okay, ma, yes, ma. And you're not the head. And you can't say a word like meaningfully contribute to that thing. This session has been really amazing. When you talk about don't take side in the office, don't say, I am for A today. And by the time the power shifts hand to B side, you're on your own. So many amazing content today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm going to hand over the mic to Adeshola to take questions from people. If you have any question, please drop in the comments so that our guests can answer your questions before we release her. Over to you, Adeshola.
Thank you so much. Well done.
You need to unmute yourself. Okay.
Yeah, yes, I've done that. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. That was amazing. At that point, just like Minka rightly mentioned, at that point where you said that we don't play the what was this game, man? The count game. Like this person counts and another person doesn't count. I was like, okay, because I found out that a lot of people do that. And that reminded me of what one of our speakers mentioned yesterday during a session. That's Ruche Mamabolo. She mentioned how President, what's his name now?
Is it
Um,
Nelson Mandela?
ma'am?
Is it Nelson Mandela? Is it Nelson Mandela for South Africa?
Ma'am. Yes, when he visited a CEO, and then, when the meeting was about to get started, the CEO left the driver, and then President Nelson Mandela told him that the driver should be a part of the meeting. And I was like, oh, wow, really? So to me, I actually learned a lesson from that everybody counts and you treat people equally, not minding if the person is in a higher authority, high authority or a subordinate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so
Absolutely.
yeah, so in an organization, even down to the gatekeeper, I think we have to treat them like they are also human and they also contribute to that organization.
If we understand that leadership is not a function of your role, you see that anyone can lead from any role within the organization. You're a gatekeeper, a security man, a cleaner, or anyone doing all of those menial jobs that you think is ordinary can actually have the ears of the boss. So and that was why I said earlier, don't be selective in how you treat people. Treat people right. Everyone has a right to be respected. Treat people well. The only reason why we try to change our behaviors is because we think some people are not as important as they should be.
As they should be.
Absolutely right. It's not hard for you to deal with people at the level you should deal with them. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So yeah, I think people need to cultivate good, abilities to respect people, show respect for people genuinely, not just for the titles they carry, but for the person that they are. That will help. Yeah.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
So we are going to take a break now. Please, people, please drop your question. We have just little time more. We need to release our guest so that she can do some other things. We are going to take questions now. So if you have any question, please drop it in the comments and we'll take 1 minute break. We'll be right back. Please don't go away. Stay with us.
Coached by Omobabirin presents 9 speakers, 9 topics, 1 platform, the Global Brand Summit. Featuring career, entrepreneurship, leadership, personal development. Meet the speakers. Roach Mamabolo, founder, the Laura Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. Joyce Daniels, social engineering practitioner. Tukwe Akiseun, talent development and management professional. John Obidi, new media consultant and founder, Head Start Africa. Morayo Brown, media content creator, convener and anchor Your View. Christabel Ikben, CEO, Christabel Ikben Consulting Limited. Bayo Adenka, author, 30 career lessons I learned along the way. Staliana Abobu Kesta, founder, principal partner, Kate CEO Nigeria, and Omobabirin Adeola Oshideko, convener, the Global Brand Summit. Schedule, date 23rd to 24th April 2021. Time, morning section 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and evening section 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Venue will be disclosed to only registered participants. Sign up now at bit.ly/the Global Brand Summit for free.
All right, we are all welcome back. So far, so good. We don't have any question from people. I think the presentation was really clear, straightforward, and very precise. So since we don't have any question, I will hand over to Adeshola to just round up the session. But before I leave, I would like to say a very big thank you to you. Thank you so much for being here today. I know how your schedule has been and you still find time to come over. Thank you so much. So over to you, Adeshola, as I'll be leaving the stage.
Thank you so much, Minta. And thanks to everyone. Thank you so much, ma'am. I really appreciate, and I can tell I don't have any question myself because you already answered all the questions I had in inside of me. So I would like to say a very big thank you. Thank you for honoring this invitation. It's actually a privilege to be here with you. Thank you.
So much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank
Thank you for having me, and thank you to all the participants from different parts of the world. I want to say thank you. It's been a pleasure, being here. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for staying up until this moment. Amazing, amazing. We can't do this without you being here. The Global Summit, the Global Brand Summit wouldn't have been a success if you had not participated. And I would like to say thank you so much for being a part of this. And thanks to our convener, Minta. You have been awesome, ma'am, I can say. And it's sincerely a privilege to serve. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I appreciate you. So for our participants, I would like to say, if you have questions, please, Minta will be sharing, the tech team will be sharing the social media handles of our speaker so you can follow them up. If you have questions, you can just go straight to their DM and ask your question. And if you would like to buy any of their courses, of course, you're also free to DM them to get the full details. So thank you so much, as we call it a wrap for the Global Brand Summit. Thank you and God bless you. Bye.
Thank you very much, Adeshola. It's been an awesome journey. This last session has been amazing. I want to believe a lot of people went for Owambe. I want to believe that, but I think I want to also believe that they will catch up with the replay later because we have quite a drop in our number. But I believe people will catch up with the replay. So if you are just joining us, you can get the replay. Now, for you to get the replay, let me send something because we are going to be pulling down all the video immediately we finish air. You're going to be pulling down all the videos, the night session we had, we're going to be pulling everything down. So if you miss any session at all, or you miss part of a session or something, and you would like to watch the replay. So what we are going to do is we are going to put everything together, all the night sessions, we're going to pack everything together somewhere and give it to you as replay. So if you would love to get the replay, please send replay in capital letter. Send replay to Omobabirin Adeola Oshideko. You will see it on your screen right now. To have access to replay, send replay to Omobabirin Adeola at gmail.com. Or you can send it to WhatsApp or +234 8171999 So that's where you get all the replay. There is no one replay. We are not going to be separating. Okay, I want John Obidi replay. I want this one replay. No, we're going to be putting everything because everything is actually valid. There's none of this session that you can actually throw to the trash and say, oh, this one is not relevant or this one does not concern me. And that was why we made everything. We made this summit all encompassing, like. You see stuff about leadership and mentorship, about personal development, about career development, and of course about entrepreneurship. So if you want the replay once again, please send replay in capital letter to Omobabirin Adeola at gmail.com, or you can send it to WhatsApp +234 8171999 and that is all. So on behalf of the team of the summit comprises of four major people. Even though we have so many people that worked on this project or on this summit, we have in person of Adeshola Bakare. Thank you so much for doing this together with us. She is our head of programs, and we also have Joseph Elizin from Joburg, South Africa. Thank you, Joseph, for doing this with us. We have Rashidat. Okay, Adeshola is from Lagos, Nigeria. We have Rashidat Adekeye from Abuja, Nigeria. She is one of our moderators. She moderated in the morning. And we also have Blessing Ododo. Blessing is our head of volunteers. She has been doing amazingly behind the scene. And of course, we have another person that after we formed the team, we had to bring her in one way or the other. Her name is Abdusalam Barakat, all the way from Saudi Arabia. Thank you so much, Abdusalam Barakat. She is the assistant to Blessing, who is the head of volunteers. And we also have another person we have to bring on board because this is actually a very big one. I never even envisaged that it would be this big. So the more we go bigger, the more we need more people to come in. So we also have someone we brought in very lately yesterday morning, Amushon Adeola. She is the one who is in charge of our Telegram group. Thank you so much, Amushon Adeola. So that's the board, that's the team on this summit. I want to say thank you to every one of you. You've done so well. And let me go down to our able volunteers. My God, these people are amazing. Their energy is just out of this world. You know, as we are dishing it out, they are picking it, they are refining it, they are push as you're talking, all the nuggets for all the speakers are already ready. Like, who does that? You know, these guys they've been on their toes since the beginning of this, even before this event. They've been creating content, posting publicity. A lot of people, I cannot actually mention names because they are quite much, close to 50 or close to 150 of them. We have our content creators, we have our graphic designers, and we have our video creators. These guys these people, they've been amazing. And of course, we have the other people that just, you know, cheering them up and also helping us with publicity. Thank you, everyone. On behalf of the admin of the group, coached by Omobabirin. Coached by Omobabirin is the organizer of this event. On behalf of the admin of that group, I want to say thank you for joining us. And you can follow me. My name is Omobabirin, like you can see it on the screen. My name is Omobabirin Adeola Oshideko. You can follow me on all my social media handles. It's the same everywhere. On Facebook, Omobabirin Adeola Oshideko. On LinkedIn, where I am going to pack my load and leave Adeshola on Facebook. On LinkedIn, I will leave Adeshola and our people on Facebook and just continue my journey. So
I go with you everywhere you go, everywhere.
Okay. So on LinkedIn, I'm also Omobabirin Adeola Oshideko. On Instagram, I'm coached by Omobabirin, coach_by_underscore Omobabirin. On Twitter, I'm also Omobabirin Adeola Oshideko. And you can join our Facebook community. The name is Coached by Omobabirin. So thank you everyone for joining. Just like we said, you can get the replay by sending replay to omobabirin@gmail.com or WhatsApp. Then finally, before we go, I would like to talk about the OpenX training that I've been showing you since the beginning of the summit. The training is for people who wants to become TEDx organizers or people who want to become TEDx speakers. I am the TEDx organizer. I'm the organizer of TEDx Benjaville, and we have people who are also passionate about becoming an organizer or a speaker. Either of the two is fine, depending on what you want to achieve. Okay, so that training is going to be coming up in the middle of May. The training is going to be coming up in the middle of May, but the beauty of that training is that you can actually take it anytime you like. It's like a recorded online course that we just put there, then you can access it anytime. But I like making my people accountable because, you know, some people, if you don't push them, they will just, they say we can watch it anytime. Oh, let me just go and sleep. I'll go and watch it anytime, you know. So most of the time I give people duration that between this and this time you must watch. If you don't watch, I'll pull it down so that, you know, everybody will sit up. Because even me personally, if you tell me I can watch something or I can do something anytime, I will just take my time and just be, you know, just be flexing. So that training is going to take place in the middle of May. It's going to start in the middle of May, but registration for that training is going to close this coming Friday. This coming Friday, which is the 30th of April, the registration for the training is going to close. So as you can see on your screen right now, that's the information as regards to the training. It's just 9,999. 9,900. It's not even up to 10,000. Can you imagine? Very cheap. It's not. Aishola, why are you laughing? What's all this now? Is it 10,000? It's not 10,000 now.
No, it is not. It is
10,000. 9,999. Very cheap. Less than 10,000. You will get that cost. So, and everybody don't mind Adeshola, is actually not up to 10,000. So that training is 9,999, just like I said, and that is $25 if you're watching from outside Nigeria. You can pay with your credit card, with your USD card, or with your international card. So if you want details about that training, you can visit this website, bit.ly/, as you can see it on your screen, bit.ly/OpenX webinar. That's all. Just type it on your browser, then you'll get to that site. You get all the details, all the questions you want to ask about it. You will get it, bit.ly/OpenX. Open is normal open, then X for silent phone, then webinar. bit.ly/OpenX webinar. That's all. So you get all the details, all the questions, everything you need to know about that event is right there on the platform. So I would like Adeshola to give a final word before we call it a day finally. Over to you, Adeshola.
Thank you very much, Mentor. Thank you. You have said it all, and sincerely, I really appreciate everything that you are doing. I can imagine that somebody is making so much impact in the world. And I ask myself, Desala, what are you doing? What are you doing yet? Sincerely, Mentor, you're shaking the world, like you're shaking the world. And I really appreciate your effort and everything. And to everyone out there, if you have been a part of this since yesterday up to this moment, I've seen that it is not a joke. Personal development especially is not a joke, and it's not for people who are not ready to take up responsibilities for their lives. So if you would like to start up the journey of personal development, Minta is there. I've taken I think one or a few of our courses, some free and some paid, and I can tell you, I know the impact. I can tell the impact that she had made in my life. And also, you saw the speakers as well. We all know that it's not a journey. The journey is not for the swift. It is actually a race for people who are determined and ready to unveil what they have on the inside of them. So I urge everyone to take responsibility for our lives and, start the journey of personal development. And trust me, you're definitely going to enjoy it because it is fun. Minka can attest to that. It is fun. And by the time you're climbing the ladder, you will know that it is really worth it. So I would like to say thank you to everyone once again. And I am very sure that next time we'll be having an event like this, you all will be willing and ready to register and be a part of it. Thank you very much once again, as we call it a wrap.
Thank you, Adeshola. So finally, before I leave, sorry, I need to quickly drop this. We are supposed to tell our last guest to pitch what she does. She is a career coach. She helps people who need help in their professional life, work-life harmony, work-life balance. You're trying to get promotion, it's not coming forth. Somebody is trying to disturb you or harass you in the office. You don't know how to handle it. Anything that has to do with workplace problem and catastrophe in quotes. That's what she does. So we're supposed to tell her to say it, but it's actually escaped my mind. So I'm just saying that on her behalf. And you can also follow her. Her name is Dupe Akishiun. Akishiun is spelled Akinsiun. Akinsiun. Dupe Akishiun. You can check her up on LinkedIn. She's also very active on Instagram. She's also very active on Instagram. So once again, thank you, everyone. Thank you. The Global Brand Summit is a wrap. And we want to say a big thank you. So we are going to be signing out after this video. Bye. See you some other time. Thank you, everyone. If you got value in the comments, let's feel your vibe. Let's feel your energy. Let's feel appreciated because we actually put a lot of work into this to get it done. So guys, cheer us up and let's feel the vibe. Thank you, everyone, and God bless you.
Would you like to be a TEDx speaker or organizer in 2021? Pay attention to what you stand to gain. It's time you stopped playing the local game. It's time you go global. Start leveraging on international platforms. When you speak on international platforms, especially the TEDx stage, you become the go-to expert with more leads, more sales, more credibility, more exposure, more influence, and of course, more money. But it's not just about money and fame. TEDx is about being on stage, connecting with people in a real way, sharing new ideas, and making the world a better place. TEDx gives your brand more exposure and more visibility, and you can get seen, get paid, and get heard. Introducing OpenX, the organizer TEDx Benjavel or Mababirin Adeola Oshideko, an international speaker with over 5 years experience in public speaking, is ready to hold you by the hand and take you through the journey. In this program, you will learn how to become a TEDx speaker, how to apply and become a TEDx organizer, how to get more international speaking invitations, how to organize international events and source for speakers and sponsorships. Webinar fee costs only 9,999 naira. See the testimonials from cohort 1 and hurry now to register as registration is open for cohort 2 at bit.ly/OpenX webinar. Registration closes April 30th, 2021. Please note that you can take the webinar at your convenient time. Coached by Omobabirin presents 9 speakers, 9 topics, 1 platform, the Global Brand Summit. Featuring career, entrepreneurship, leadership, personal development. Meet the speakers. Roach Mamabolo, founder, the Laura Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. Joyce Daniels, social engineering practitioner. Tukwe Akiseun, talent development and management professional. John Obidi, new media consultant and founder, Head Start Africa. Morayo Brown, media content creator, convener and anchor Your View. Christabel Ikben, CEO, Christabel Ikben Consulting Limited. Bayo Adenka, author, 30 career lessons I learned along the way. Staliana Abobu Kesta, founder, principal partner, Kate CEO Nigeria, and Omobabirin Adeola Oshideko, convener, the Global Brand Summit. Schedule, date 23rd to 24th April 2021. Time, morning section 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and evening section 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Venue will be disclosed to only registered participants. Sign up now at bit.ly/the Global Brand Summit for free.